Hey YouTube. Hi everyone. This is the Dissection happening every Monday night, 6 p.m. EST, because it's New York City time, baby. Happy New Year. Welcome to the channel. Let's start off by giving this video a thumbs up, hitting that notification bell so you guys know when I go live, post all these new videos, and subscribe to the channel. Join the Just Latasha fam today. See, now since y'all are general admission, and it's no hate, no shade. I'm seeing y'all after I already saw my patrons. See, my patrons saw me yesterday, first time of the new year themselves, because you know they got access to that point. Patreon.com/JustLatasha for bi-monthly exclusive dissections. And what's really cool about the dissections is that the last Sunday of the month, I do a VIP hosting, meaning y'all get to come on here and talk about it with me. All right. So the last Sunday of January, I'm going live with my patrons. Some of them are coming on cam with me, giving me their opinions in real time. It's super duper, super duper, super duper fly. And yesterday, my first dissection of 2021 was The Matrix. And how timely, because there's so many life gems in there. And we shared all of them yesterday. We really felt that energy. It was good stuff. I had some new patrons join just to access The Matrix, but we're doing some really, really fire shows over on Patreon. So make sure you're a patron today. Follow me on social media. I'm JustLatasha on Instagram, and I'm JustLatasha404 on Twitter. I'm ready to dive in. I'm going to warn y'all tonight. I'm throwing out wild theories. This one twisted my brain all up. Okay? This Bridgerton twisted my brain all up because there's one conversation that I know we're having, and there's another conversation I'm not so sure we're having. So I'm really going to depend and rely on y'all tonight to really give me your thoughts, give me your theories. Let's share. This is always a symbiotic experience. I'm not the God here, okay? Everything I say is not set in stone. What's really fun about doing dissections is that you can pull your own interpretations, because that's what art is for. You find your own meaning. So I encourage you, if you find something different than what I say, throw it in the chat. I want to see. I want to learn. I want to hear. I want to give to you as you give to me. That's what this experience is, all right? And it's black as fuck. All right. We have 3 whole Nick Kerrs in Bridgerton. I like it. Who we got up in the chat tonight? Shout out to Ashley with the first comment. Hello, beautiful. Right back at you. A Barty always holding me down. What's up, Kay? Hey, CJ, Khaled's here. My patrons are here. What's up, Cordelia? Asha, Mara, Cherise. Ooh. Khaled says this: I saw 60 seconds of this show and checked out. I don't like most period pieces. And sir, I am with you. I was almost not even here tonight. I'm with you. I don't do the period piece, and they was trying to like make it modern, but Psych is really from this time. And Khaled, I am so with you, but I'm gonna do it because y'all showed me this paper bag brown boy on the internet, and I was like, let me see what they going for. And Shonda Rhimes, highest paid showrunner in entertainment, black lady. They ain't give me nothing gay yet though. Like, what's up with that? There's too many straights in this show. What's up, DJ? I see y'all here. All right. DJ says, the thoughts I have regarding marriage, sex, sexism, misogyny, baby, let's talk. Let's do it. And I'm gonna be really honest with y'all. I don't like dissecting shows that I'm not personally passionate about. So this was a crapshoot. And I did not binge. I see some people in the chat saying they watched the season, they enjoyed the entire season. I did only watch the pilot. So if you binge, you may have answers that I don't currently have, because this is just episode 1. It didn't quite pull me in. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This show didn't quite pull me in until like the very last 5 minutes, when I was like, ooh, you might have something there. But I like shows that grab me by the throat, tell me to sit my ass down, pay attention. I can make you put your phone down. I can make your phone down. Make me put my phone down. All right. The show didn't quite do that for me. I'm sorry. Y'all said y'all pushed through too. A Barty said they pushed through. Kay says there is one gay guy. We're going to need a little more than that. This is the gay agenda here, okay? But a side character. All right, Kay. Nicole says I watched 2 shows. It didn't pull me in either. Hey. But you know what? We're gonna make this a larger conversation tonight, because that's what we do here. It is fun to think. It is fun to try. It is fun to just theorize amongst ourselves. So let's do it. Bridgerton, episode 1, Diamond of the First Water. I don't know what that means. What do white people be talking about? I don't know what that means. And here's the thing. This is a show based on the popular Bridgerton book series, originally written and created by Julia Quinn, that revolves around 2 families during the season, an annual period where elite families would host formal events to introduce their children to society and find them a suitable marriage. Now, that being said, all right, we've had conversations about the colorism on Netflix. Whenever y'all show Black people, they got to be of a certain complexion and none the darker. There's a lot of critique about Shonda with the interracial couples, all right? Whenever you can't just have like a plain Black love. They got to be interracial, got to be the POC and the white. It's a critique that Shonda is receiving from the public at this point. I want to make clear, again, this is written and created by Julia Quinn. I assume that's a white. And Shondaland Media is the entertainment hub, the distributor, the production, hosting it. So I don't want those 2 conflated, but those are very valid and real critiques. So let's start with the opening shot. Yeah, I know I love color theory. I believe color usage, well, I don't believe it, it is. Directors use color usage to expand the story that is already being told by action and dialogue. We can learn so much more about the characters, what they're going through, their intention, what they believe, their value system, by what colors they're aligned with. So in these few opening shots, before we meet anybody, we have an aerial view of the city, this God eye view, right? As if we or someone is to be overlooking and observing the happenings in this town. This town itself, the culture of this town is the main character. That's what we're going to be discussing. So the fact that we're opening up with these visuals and these visuals alone, we're entering a new world. And they lean into that with that second follow-up shot. It's a period piece. We see these people dressed all strange, riding around horseback. Ain't no Mustangs outside, no rims. It's 4-legged wild animals, okay? This is Grosvenor Square, 1813. And right now, this society is prepping for their social season, pairing up their offspring to go off and be married, exchange that wealth and those dowries, and go on and so forth. Now, going back to the color theme, we have green versus blue. Looking at this pilot, I've seen these 2 colors paired across characters, across settings, and I really wanted to dissect and theorize what is the conversation between green and blue. And here's my wild ass theory. I'm not saying it's right. I do not claim to be the end all be all of a dissection, but what we are here to do is think and have fun. Here's my theory. Let me know if you think something else. I believe the conversation that we're having with this social event, I believe the color blue represents patriarchy, and I believe the green represents the society / status quo, the rules of engagement, the rules of society, right? And I leaned into that here with this woman right below with the green dress and the blue umbrella, lined up just the way the skyline in this town is. That was the second shot right after this opening shot. I believe this episode and this season is having a conversation about patriarchy, about sexism, and about how that affects women under that umbrella. So if you have this woman in this green dress, women in the society must operate under the rules of patriarchy to exist within that status quo, right? And sometimes working in the rules and the confines of patriarchy works for women. She's cool with her umbrella, her dress. She's on her way to go somewhere that we don't know. But that can definitely be a detriment to other women and other people, as we'll explore. We see that red dress and that red umbrella right behind her. Depending on who you are, where you come from, how you play the game, this could work in your favor and you cool. If not, this is really gonna beat your ass. How are we doing? How are we doing? Mara Cherie says the colorism, the fuckery, the interracials, boring. I wrote them a note. Well, you better let them know how you feel, Mara. You better let me know. Cordelia says there were dark Black women sprinkled in the background, but not in the main cast, which bothered me. All right, so let's dive into this. Let's explore. First family we meet, 1 out of 2, are the Featheringtons. These names are so difficult to like say. They put too much letters together, okay? Where we have a wife, a mother, and her 3 daughters, and her husband, who we do not see, but he's there, but he ain't there, okay? So, interesting thing happening here. The Featheringtons have a blue front door, and when you go inside, it's the green everywhere, right? On the walls, on the curtains, on the clothes. So if we're having a conversation about patriarchy and status quo, with this blue door, you have a husband, the head of a household, who's there, but he's absent. However, a man being the husband and being present rules the home, and the women who are preparing for this social event, preparing for the daughters to get married, totally playing into the rules of the status quo, covered in green. They have no problem with patriarchy. This is the rules. This is what we're going to do. And you're going to sit there and take this corset, and we're going to go ahead and live happily ever after. I dare you to say something back. Don't talk back. That's what I'm picking up from what they putting down. That's what I'm picking up from you putting down. Versus the second elite family, the Bridgerton. I can't say these damn names. The Bridgertons. Where we have a widowed countess with her 3 sons and 3 daughters. Now, the Bridgertons have a green door with a blue interior, right? The total opposite of the Featheringtons. Y'all gonna have to forgive me, my God, okay? So this blue interior feels as if, to me, is their starting point, right? With the late father and husband who uphold these patriarchal conditions, and they expect that their oldest son is to go ahead and follow that generational legacy. But something is special about this green door. They are willing to play by the rules of the status quo. However, this mirror has me thinking. They got a bumblebee. Has me thinking. I don't believe visuals are just there just because they felt like it. Visuals mean absolutely everything. I believe that there will be a key to change their path. And I say that because of this. A lot of the times when you see green or you see like greenery, it usually represents something new, something blooming, something growing, something to be birthed. So if that is their front door with a mirror, I believe that is a portal to a new journey. Sure, they'll start out this way, they're playing the game, but over the course of their journey, I believe, and y'all could confirm or not, because I know some of y'all binged the entire season, this family in particular would be encouraged to change their ways, change their belief system faster than anybody else we would see. I also say that because mirrors often represent a split of identity, different paths, secrets, different mindsets. So the fact that you're showing us this mirror means that something is to be changed, or something to be discovered. And I was like, what's up with the bee? I don't have a concrete answer for the bee, but I'm just letting you know I didn't miss the bee. Okay. I was like, is it women led? Is it queen bee? Is it the women actually in charge? I don't know. There's a bee there for a reason. Okay. Okay. So y'all agree. Mara says you got it. And Abe RT says you right. Okay. ART asked, they didn't let women remarry? I don't know. Khaled, who's a patron, was on the Matrix dissection yesterday, the exclusive Patreon dissection. And we spoke about this. And he says, green, mirrors. Oh no, they about to enter the Matrix. I'm telling you, they're going somewhere else. They're not going to stay with the status quo. I don't believe so. I could be wrong because I ain't binge, I ain't see the whole season, but that's my theory right now. CJ says, it was a bit painful to watch. The social currency seemed to be the only real currency everyone's lives depended on in this period. One rumor is all it took to utterly destroy someone. Oh, one rumor is all it took to utterly destroy someone, especially women. Great, great, great point. Well, let's get into that. Let's meet the Bridgerton kids. We meet the daughter, Daphne, and we meet Anthony, the oldest son. And both were late on arrival to this big event to start pairing the daughters to be filtered for marriage, right? There's a misalignment with these two children specifically with the rest of their family. Now let's look into this patriarchy, sexism realm that they've built. Daphne in this cage / carriage. Daphne in this cage, right? Trapped, dreaming of her way out, looking right through that window off to freedom, dreaming of being outside. Versus Anthony, who don't even got no damn carriage. What cage, right? Anthony is completely unbound. What is the status quo for one is the status quo for the other. We see all that green surrounding them, right? And here we have an era where women are pruning themselves to be chosen, while Anthony just gets to go out and do obscene things in public. So women have to hurt themselves, be all dolled up, get ready, be on time. And Anthony, on the other hand, could do this lewd act in public and with protection. This little horseback driver got his back. I ain't gonna tell you a secret. Just turn your back while I'm getting it on by a tree. Y'all didn't even go behind the tree. First of all, you're real rude. You didn't even bother going behind the tree. Like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? Anthony is living in this boundless world in what would make a cage for Daphne. So let's get into these women. Y'all already started to talk about the queen. And I thought this was really dynamic and an interesting point of conversation, and here's why. When women want to get chose, usually what we understand is that women present themselves to men. And by this point of this episode, we have not seen man speak nor matter or be involved in any of this. This is a woman's show. Women are operating and running and are the gatekeepers of a patriarchal system. I feel like that's a very deep conversation, right? Women are presenting themselves to be judged by the queen for marriage, which is very true. We meet a lot of women who uphold the rules of patriarchy, even though it's against their best interests. There's plenty of women who'll be front and center and let you know the rules of patriarchy, and they abide by it, right? And the queen is judging all the women who are to be perfect for the selection of a man. So now we're looking at all this red, and we speak about this color a lot during these dissections, where red often represents a wound, it represents danger, it represents caution, represents an alert. This red is supposed to spark something in you, be a little defensive, a little guarded. So what is happening for the queen? And whatever this red is representing for her, is this representative for what's happening to all women of this time period and this society, right? Without even seeing a single man that matters to this system, women are still going above and beyond for men's approval to fit into these societal rules, right? And the voiceover says this: a young lady's value plummets. A young lady's value plummets to unthinkable depths. This girl just passed out in this pool of red, dying for this tradition while boys outside playing. Ooh. Uh-oh. Kay with a fun fact who says apparently this queen was based on a real queen of the time. That was the only realism. Mara Cherie says Queen Charlotte, a biracial icon. What is y'all doing in this chat? What is y'all doing in this chat? A says her marriage was in shambles. And Mara says the queen is tired. She's tired, child. Further episodes, you'll find out why. Thank you for not spoiling. Thank you so much for that. All right, let's move on. The queen chooses Daphne. Woke up flawless. And in this moment of victory, in this moment of success, in this moment that she's waited for her entire life, what color passes right on by? Oh, when the things you want hurts you, that's a different type of betrayal. When you betray yourself, oh my gosh. And Julie Andrews, the voiceover says, the brighter a lady shines, the faster she may burn. A very important topic of conversation. I want to stop here real quick. Success does not free women from patriarchy. This girl came in, waltzed in with her little 2-point curl, bow cute, got the approval of the Most High, the highest ranking person, and she is not safe. And we think of successful women who are still bound by the tides of patriarchy. We think of Beyonce. Had she been single and not a mom and not a wife, people would have been talking high on crap about her. Let's not pretend that she's not the greatest entertainment in the world possibly ever, but her adding Jay-Z adds value to her entertainment empire. Married, just because she's married. And if she wasn't married, we'd be ignoring the singing, the dancing, the forethought, the planning, the execution. It'd be like, well, she's still single though, so who really want her? That would be the conversation, and that is the most sad thing. We watched Oprah go through it. Okay, so is she sleeping with Gail or Stedman? Who is it? What if she wanted to be alone? We watched Tyra Banks go through it. Why is she still single? She's how old is she now? She's a model. Are you sure? And these successful women were, their value, their social value was being brought down, questioned, degraded because they weren't partnered. That's insane. That is insane. Okay. So I got a question. We meet the anonymous gossip blogger, the Shade Room of 1813. Miss Whistledown, Lady Whistledown. No spoilers. We meet this anonymous Lady Whistledown who tells everyone's tea in these little pamphlets, right? And here's what I theorize. Here's what I pull from it. These pamphlets, when we first are introduced to them, they're often shown in twos, reflectives, twin symbolism, right? Hidden identities. Which very obviously this is what it is. It's a hidden identity because we don't know who she is. But no spoilers. Out of the characters we met, do y'all have any idea who this would be? From the pilot alone, I do have a guess. And again, I did not binge the entire season, so I'm more than willing to be wrong. That's okay over here. And if anybody didn't binge yet, did y'all have a guess on who this Lady Whistledown was? Miss Whistleblower herself? Great point. Tracy Ellis Ross definitely went through the why the hell is she single critique. Ridiculous. Really ridiculous. CJ, is you raising your hand or you want to let the class know? I'm with you, CJ, who guessed Lady Danbury. Danbury. I got to go to my next slide to figure out her name, child. I don't remember nobody. Okay, Cordelia says Lady Dansbury too. That's who I was thinking. And here's why. Because again, when we see these pamphlets, they're often shot as two. We see two people holding them or giving out two at a time, or we always saw them in double. And the first time that we saw it as a single was in her hands. And I was like, is that a clue? The first time this pamphlet is shown in single form was when it touched her hands. She is also shot holding this little Shade Room blog paper, this little media takeout, with the superiority and authority angle, that upshot. She's looking powerful, peering down. We are looking up to her. And this is a blog that runs this town. Y'all said it in the chat that there's social currency that causes actual consequence for these people, right? Your social currency is as good as your checking account. So this blog spills your tea, runs this town, and we go into this angle when she's holding it. It just made me guess. And she asked too many questions, but we're going to move on. we're gonna move on. So we meet a new character. Paperback Brown 3 Curl herself. Miss Thomas, the cousin, the distant cousin of the Featherington family. And her tea is that she is broke and black, okay? Matter of fact, let me not say black because they're not quite having this conversation. We'll get there. She's broke and she ain't from these parts, right? And the mother of this family suspects that she's undesirable without taking a look at her own daughters. Hello? One of your daughters fainted at the queen's feet. We need to go ahead and check. So check that, okay? But one out of the three daughters takes a look at Miss Thomas and says, she's beautiful. Go ahead, Penelope, in that beautiful dress. She's beautiful. Dress of a different color than the rest of the family. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Is Penelope gay? She was giving lesbian to me. She got a friend in the Bridgerton house. She liked the way Miss Thomas come on in carrying herself about. It's giving bi-curious. Anybody? DJ, we only talking about episode 1, so you safe. I hope you safe. I hope nobody in this chat is spoiling it for you. We're not moving ahead. We are staying in this pilot. We are doing no spoilers for the rest of the season. Y'all said I cared nothing about this girl. DJ agrees. I thought that was lesbian tease. JJ says between her and Eloise. Yes, Eloise. I thought the same thing. Chittum, I'm sorry. Myra says it's given. We like carpets around here. Okay, so we have a new guy in town, the Duke of Hastings. Now, I thought y'all was doing a lot on Twitter with how cute he was. I was like, he's giving Netflix brown. Like, is that why we like him? He's giving Netflix brown with a beard. Like, is that why we like him? And then I watched the pilot and I was like, oh. It's the way he got his neck cocked back like that. I was like, his back was strong. Y'all were right. I'm not ever afraid of admitting when I'm wrong. Y'all was right. He's fine as hell. Okay. Duke of Hastings. Only back in London to handle the affairs of his late father, who he despised. He hates being here. He hates the social season. He hates all these bad girls in his face. So what is the setting giving? Look at these columns. Look at these bars. Look at these stripes. It's giving jail. It's It's imprisoning. It's enclosing. It feels entrapped. Okay? Skip in jail. It's exactly how he feels when he gets here. Okay? Simon was a meal. Is that Jesse Williams? No, Khaled, that's the other that's the other it's the lighter Netflix brown guy. Yeah. Nicole and I ain't watched The Roots. I hate slave stories. So now we meet Lady Danbury and the Duke of Hastings speaking together, and we learn that she isn't his mother, but raised him, something of the sort, right? And she keeps talking about everybody's business, and she keeps talking about keeping secrets. So for me, it was like, this got to be the blogger. It got to be. It has to be, right? But that was just what I was theorizing. And Lady Danbury is preparing to throw a social ball for the families to meet. She wants everybody to mingle and mix in her house, under her watch, under her eye. And she want to see what's the goings on with the goings on. So I was like, well, that would make sense if she's this blogger, because wouldn't she throw a ball so she can see who's doing what and what's where? Okay. And this red again is giving. We got to be a little cautious around Miss Danbury. Got to be a little cautious around it. Okay, AM says you'll find out throughout the series that she's actually the auntie. Okay, because she feels dangerous here. She feels absolutely dangerous here. So a character arc is what you're saying, AM. A character arc. I'm down. So let's get back to Anthony, a little playboy. Got him a little side piece, sleeping on behind the theater. Cute little thing named Sienna. And this room is drenched in red. Why would it be that color? Well, several reasons that I would assume. This relationship is a secret. He would never marry or choose this girl in public. And he also has this heavy, nagging notion in the back of his mind that he has to take the place of his late father in protecting his sisters. The pressure of masculinity, of protecting the women by making them small. It's protection for your own good. Don't go after your own joy and freedom. Let's get back to this conversation that we were having about patriarchy, right? And he says this really crazy thing. He must protect the virtue of his sister Daphne from any defilements. His sister could possibly be defiled. And he follows up with this: every woman is not a lady. So you're going to have me busted open down behind the theater during my rehearsals, and you're going to sit here and say something like that to me? Boy, I will slap you in the teeth. Is you kidding me? These are the rules of patriarchy. Men sleep with women they don't respect or like. And that's supposed to be okay. Men defile themselves and still have the power to provide the rules of love, romance, dating, patriarchy. And the gag is that women are the ones who still have to play the game. I ain't waiting around for marriage. I'm gonna go ahead and do what I want to do. Well, you a hoe. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna pull it in because I want this man to respect me. You were a prude and a tease. Oh, well, maybe if I'm a mother, she had a child and this man ain't here. She must be, and it's just like it, all these L's around the existence of women. Look at the man. He is claiming the defilement of women. Khaled says the audacity has left the room. Mademoiselle says he ain't no gentleman either. Hello? So it brought me to this mirror shot when he says that disgusting things to Sienna, and now he got to clean it up. And we go to this mirror shot from his true thoughts to the mirror to him meeting her on the bed again. We meet a different identity. This mirror tells us that he's getting prepared to lie. He's getting prepared to put on a mask, right? And he promises, he softens up and gets all nice and cute again. No, I got you. I'm gonna protect you. You know, he's pretending to respect her when that truth slipped out already. You don't respect her. You don't think she's worth being claimed by you in public. So then what value do you think she has? The truth came out already. So then we see that mirror and we get that line that he swears to protect her. Take that mask off, baby. We seen it already. We seen it already. Khaled, oh my gosh. DJ says, exactly. Men have the issues, but we'll project them onto us. Whoo! And here's what I like. A Barty says, that's why you got to do what you want, because it don't matter. Bringing me right here to this piece. Lady Danbury's social ball is in full swing. Women are shooting a shot at men all night, trying to get picked, trying to get chose, right? The men are trying to get close to Miss Daphne herself. Mother's upstairs in the gossip balcony, talking about who easy, who skirt light. And Daphne's brother, Anthony, is sitting here cock blocking the whole function. He believes in stepping in the place of his father is to protect her virtue by assuring she goes untouched. Here's a quote that I always loved. If a woman is dirty after engaging with a man, it's time for him to take a look at his hands. And Anthony believes that keeping his sister clean is him taking the place of his father. This is generational hating. This is generational tomfoolery. This is what your daddy was doing. This is the pride of your family. It's giving loser. Let's look at the colors. Here's what I pulled from this. Let me know if you have any different theories. Now, we got blue on Anthony, we got white on Daphne, and we got red on Mr. himself. Blue, serving patriarchy and family traditions. Daphne in white, the blank slate who has the choice of following family or going red, going rogue. Hastings don't want no part of this. This is ridiculous. He hates it here. And he feels forced to be here. He don't want to play the game. So here we have Daphne right in between as a blank slate getting to choose which way you're going to go. You're going to follow what society has set up for you? Or we're going to choose something else, whatever that might be. We're going to go rogue. What else we going to choose, right? Make your own mind. Make your own mind. We get near Cordelia, who says Anthony is still unmarried. They both unmarried. Yes. Let's talk about who he is. I would have been married ASAP. What castle he came from? All right, moving on. So, the Featherington ladies versus the cousin, Miss Thomas. They sit on opposite ends, given that Charlie Brown Thanksgiving dinner table where the black person sat on the side by himself. It's given that. And I saw something really cool here, right? How the women are aligned in color, and look who they're positioned right in front of. The daddy, the man, the father, the patriarchy. This is how insidious and how deep patriarchy is. The man don't even have to be there. And look how the women lined up. They don't even have to be there to enact the rules anymore. It's a self-serving system. And the victims perpetuate the rules that hurt themselves, and they don't even know it. Look how they are aligned. And cousin from the South over there looking like a stain on the family. So I want to jump into the audience here. Let's talk. Let's talk. Now, the reason why they don't like this cousin is because she's from the South. She's from a farm. She ain't got no dowry. She ain't got no money. Why is she even up here? Diving into the audience. Do y'all think that they're just not saying the word racist? This pilot seems to be really dodging the race thing. And I'm not clear on whether or not that's intentional. Are they just not saying the word racist? And that's what racists do, right? They don't say, I hate you because you're Black. They say, I don't like your money or your attitude or your hair or your professionalism. I don't like the way you talk. I don't like, and they'll make up all these other things that really just boils down to, I'm Black in 1813. We ain't got enough goats. Like all these things that you could say. Thank you, Crystal. What do we think? Is this show not having a racist conversation, or what are we? Shit them. No, they don't like her because she cute and pulling niggas' attention. That as well. That as well. Hey, Barty said, I noticed that too. They acted like they didn't see color and yet treated them differently. And I know that there's a Black queen and a Black duke and some Black servants and some Black royalty and Black suitors. Like I see them sprinkled throughout the show. I see them. But if we're going to do this, why are we not just like, are we trying to pretend race does not exist in London 1813? Kay says, when the cousin entered, I was like, oh, so this show won't have any dark-skinned main characters. It's quite annoying. Whew, Cordelia says the showrunner isn't nuanced enough to do so. Y'all can't throw Black people in back of the day stories without addressing it. And if they're not addressing it because these actual characters want to appear, I don't see color. It's just not clear enough on what we're doing here about race. And I don't know if it was intentional for the show to not be mentioning it, but I just wanted to have the conversation and see what y'all thought about it. Let's lean back in. Party's over. Next day, suitors who connected want to come back and check up on their ladies, see if they can get in where they fit in. All right. And I want to take a look at where the blocking of where Anthony is in this room and in this space. Directly in front of this frame where the head is cut off. Now, I can't quite tell. I believe this portrait is of a woman. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this portrait behind Anthony is of a woman. I was unsure because there's a weapon, which I was like, were women allowed to have weapons and stuff then? But the person is wearing a dress, but there's a sash. Like, I can't quite tell what gender this is, but I assume this portrait is a woman. And if so, this is a direct visual explanation of who Anthony thinks he is. Cutting the mind off of him. I'll do the thinking for you. Okay, y'all are saying they're just dodging the race conversation. I see you. Okay. Heard you. So the gag here is, it's Anthony's fault that Daphne is being reported in this blog as undesirable, though that is not her intention, nor is it actions of her own. And this is what she has to break down to him, right? You have no idea what it's like to be a woman. This moment of me finding a husband is everything I've been raised for. If I do not get married, if I do not find a husband, I literally have no other value. A whole ass human being thrown away because they're not partnered. Which brings me here. I tweeted this. Follow me on Twitter, JustLatasha404. I tweeted this before I actually watched the show. And I was like, I'm trying to watch Bridgerton. Why is there Ariana Grande in the show? What is this? And some of y'all were like, oh, no, they're making it modern on a period piece and X, Y, and Z. Okay, cool. Now here's where I'm at with it. Now that I've spent time with this, I think this is exactly why they're using current music in this period piece. That is a seamless way of showing how the effects of patriarchy for both men and women is a poison on society. And even though the story takes place in 1813, all of this is still very much present today. We just wearing different clothes and we ain't getting on horses unless Lil Nas X makes another music video, but that's XY. That's just neither here nor there. You could take the same problem of patriarchy from 1813 and put it in 2021 and we're still here. Okay. So let's see how patriarchy affects the men. Because the gag is it does. The Duke with Sir Bridgerton. Hastings hating his title of the Duke, hating his father's name, and hating this whole fiasco of him having to be married. Patriarchy hurts men too. And we've seen this in so many ways. Hastings is torn up. He is haunted by this town, by his daddy, by the societal rules, by the status quo, by the patriarchy. He hates it all. In that red for all of this pilot. He's wearing red all the pilot. Versus the boys club blue. Bridgerton wearing this blue blazer. He is the oldest, still unmarried, and still sleeping with some girl in the back of the town. And Hastings asks a very fair question in his frustration. Where's your wife? You talking to me like I'm supposed to be doing something. You ain't married neither. You the oldest, you directly under your daddy, and you still ain't got no wife. And hearing a man ask that to another man feels so ridiculous and seems so strange because that's exactly how patriarchy is supposed to work. All these women, it doesn't sound strange to me, even though I have all these opinions about patriarchy and how it affects women. It doesn't sound strange when we're like, hey, where's your husband? Why aren't you married? Because we were groomed to expect and demand women to be partnered. Meanwhile, this man asked another man, where's your wife? And it was like, he's a bachelor. What wife? He doesn't need a wife. And it was supposed to feel that drastically strange because that is the point. There are no pressures for men and there's no punishments for men when they go unpartnered. You're a playboy. You're a modern day George Clooney with your 19-year-old waitress from Las Vegas. What? Dragging a Tracy Ellis Ross and praising a George Clooney? Do everybody need to get slapped in the teeth? Like what is happening? So here's the thing about these two dudes. Patriarchy is working for Bridgerton. He's doing, for Anthony, he's fine. Patriarchy is working in his favor. He get to go out, go to the back of the town, lay it down, come home, not be don't even have to participate if he don't want to. Humping and hunching on a tree. He could do whatever he wants. He's fine. And if he were a woman, he'd be thrown out by society. He'd be yesterday's trash. Okay? And he says something strange here. He's looking for brothers. I don't know what that means yet. I'm sure y'all discovered it when y'all continued to binge the series. I have no idea what that means, but he's looking for brothers. Women are not even on his mind, even though he sleeps with them. They're not even on his mind. Patriarchy, on the other hand, is haunting the Duke. Nisa, I'm gonna start calling these niggas rakes. What? What? Abe Artsy says it too. A rake is what they call it. Wait, what is happening? They call them rakes? What is that? What the hell? What the hell? I don't know what that means, y'all. I don't know what y'all out there doing. I don't know what rakes mean. DJ says, I think Anthony wants to marry a freaky girl, but he's scared. You can't turn no hoe into a housewife. Let's move on. A suitor by the name of Colin Bridgerton acquires the highly coveted Lil Black Miss Thompson. And Penelope is upset that her man got, all right? And we finally meet the man of the house, dressed down in green, which I theorize represents the society's status quo. And the women speak of him. And they say this: Lord Featherington, he don't like none of this mess either, with his cousin coming back, and she got her soft curl, and these boys want her instead of his bloodline daughters. But he wouldn't dare make a move against society and send that cousin back from where she came from. He wouldn't dare. So I had a thought. Because we have this coupling paired in front of the father of the home, and we have Lord Featherington right in front of this woman of the home. So I ask y'all, I'm jumping into the chat for this audience question. Who is really the leader of the house? Who is really calling shots? What is really going on in this house? Oh, F-boys are rakes. Thank you. Y'all taught me something tonight because I was like, what is it? Got it. Who do we think is actually, or who or what do we think is actually operating the goings on of this home? CJ, the wife is the leader there. I can never do that. Can't do it. Sorry. The wife is the leader there. A, Barty says she is. The dad is never present. And I'm down with y'all on that. I felt that as well. There's it's layers here, right? You got Father White in the portrait dictating the rules of patriarchy and masculinity that the women have to abide by, and they are more than happy to do so. So then you have this couple right beneath the father. And then you have the wife orchestrating all of that on Father White's behalf. So much so and so hard body that her husband follows her, following patriarchy. I was like, what? All these dynamics, all these layers. I was like, that was pretty cool. Okay. That was pretty cool. Brianna says he wanted the money that would be attached to Marina being married. That's all he cared about. Lady Featherington was the one upset. Her plain Jane daughters were being overshadowed by the Negras. And we'll do it again. Okay. Victory says the man is there because he manages the money. And DJ says the king owns the kingdom, but the queens control the energy of the land. Mara Cherie says he couldn't care less about any of them. There's a whole conversation about economics here too, like the capital money flow, but we don't have the time. Let's move on. We are closing down on our hour. Anthony chooses, he makes a choice to no longer just be the big bro. He wants to be the new dad of the house, new man of the house. And we have these red curtains, not in this shot, but if you watch the scene, you'll see it. These red curtains draping over this couple, but he is paired against this blue stripes headboard. He's choosing his family tradition by breaking up with her. And Anthony, for the first time, has finally found the wound in his patriarchy playground. He was having such a good time. He didn't care to change. This was working in his favor. And now there was a switch. It's got some pressure on him to make this stuff right. A wound enters his playground of patriarchy, right? And him stepping into this role of being the man of the house means deciding to trample on his sister and ruin his own love life. Patriarchy hurts everybody. How is this a win? Please. How is this a win? How is this a win? Miss Penelope gets her man back. Miss Thomas is pregnant. And Miss Thomas accuses the Featherington mother of being privileged. This is what Black girls want to say to white ladies all the time. You up here living your cushy life, good money, white skin, privilege as hell. I don't even want to be here. Which brings me to the race question again. Can we even have this conversation about who Featherington is versus who Miss Thomas is without talking about race? I don't know how they still skipped it in this conversation. They didn't say it, and it's so confusing for me. Like, if you want to call me a Black, just say that. Like, just say it. But we keep talking about money instead of, and race is definitely tied to money. So I'm gonna let them have it. Whatever. It's just weird that we're not saying it, right? Fist to the patriarchy. Miss Daphne punches her suitor in the face. I will not marry you, rejects marriage, and we come here. This fake bond. Daphne joins Hastings to fool society, and they get to be alone together. Here's the switch, covered in blue. They get to use the patriarchy for their benefits. Well, if you need me to be married and I don't want to be, now I'm a fake a marriage, so y'all finally leave me alone. Here, look. See? Wife, husband, y'all cool? They use the patriarchy to their benefit. Now, what's the word for when like a straight man has a beard? AKA a woman that's not really their woman, but it's a woman for show, so everybody leaves them alone and they could continue to perform partnership. Think about that. Ponder on it, put it together. There's a color that we didn't talk about. And this will be our last audience question, and we will stop here for the evening. Last audience question of the night. We have Anthony versus this new couple. Anthony covered in red because his plans for Daphne fail. And this couple is covered and soaked in yellow. And I've seen yellow. We've seen yellow splashed throughout this episode, right? We had Penelope when we first met her in this yellow dress. And then we had all the Featherington ladies aligned in green, but some gold and yellow in there. And now we end with this final shot and this couple is covered in yellow. What do we think this means? If blue is the patriarchy, if green is the status quo, if red is the wound, where does yellow fit into all of this? One final question, one final push before we all get up out of here for the night. So the straight beard is called a play girlfriend. It's called an arrangement. Okay. Oh, Khaled, it's an entanglement. Yes. Not a jump off. Last question. Where are we at? What do we think yellow means? Because it means something. Myra says, it means something is heating up. Last question, push through, push through, push through. A. Barty says, a hopeful affair. Cordelia guesses a new adventure. We ain't gonna call it a stubble. The hell? Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave y'all with it. And on that note, this has been another dissection right here on the JustLatasha channel. Please go ahead and subscribe. Do not leave here without subscribing. Hit the notification bell so you guys are aware of when I make new videos on this channel. Thursday, I will be back for my Piece of Script series, breaking down a really short, sharp, poignant moment of a film that I really love, expanding the story in a short, quick burst. Be there for that. Follow me on social media. I am JustLatasha on Instagram, JustLatasha404 on Twitter. And we are here every Monday night, baby, live, 6 p.m. EST, breaking down a movie, a show, an episode, what have you, and we dive right in. Thank you for being so present, so intelligent, so brilliant, so funny, so funky, so treacherous down there in that live chat. I love speaking with you guys every week, and you guys get extra content, 2 more live shows a month if you become a patron. So many of my patrons are here right now. Patreon.com/JustLatasha. We did The Matrix yesterday. Going to choose something good for the last section of January, starting 2021 off strong. Thank you for throwing hearts up in the chat. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Throw some more hearts up in the chat. I will see you guys next time. Bye.